I need to get ready. I need to get ready. And I will see you at uni. Hey everyone. Hey besties. How is everyone doing today? I'm doing a mukbang. Also, I feel like I'm being stared from a lot of places right now because I'm at uni, but also there's work going on, like construction work. So a lot of construction people are going on along the corridors. Anyways, let's get into the video. How's everyone doing? To make sure to be exact, it has been 10 months since I last uploaded on YouTube. It has been way too long, like way too long. I got a Big Mac meal with some cheese melts. I've never had these, so I think I'll just start with these. So what better way to get back on track than doing a mukbang video, just catching up on life. And this is good. This is really good. I wrote a timeline on my phone, basically for everything that has happened since the last video. That was February this year. So it was February, it's been 10 months, way too long. Now it's December. We're December the 20th. It's been a long time, not gonna lie, but I'm embarrassed. First term was, we had like, I think like 4 tasks, like 4 writing tasks for different deadlines. Then term 2 was a magazine as a group, like my whole class. Bearing in mind, my class is 7 people, so it's not that much. Even then, I found it quite hard to like work in a team of like 7 completely different people. Like everyone is different, and that's when like group work gets quite tricky. But we found a ground, like we made the magazine by the end of like term 2. That's when we had to actually make it by. Then term 3, we had to go and find an internship. So I did find an internship, and it was either you had to do an internship, or you had to do the uni project, which was called The Wave. From what I hear, the uni project was not good at all. Like people just did not like it. Basically it was free work for the university, but you know, I don't know, because I didn't do it, that's what I've heard. So, I mean, obviously you probably still learned something from the project, but I found, luckily I managed to find a internship last moment after being cancelled last minute. I found another internship because basically with internships, the company that you go with, they have to have insurance. So if anything happens to you, they are liable for you. The company I found was very small, so they couldn't be liable for you. Anyways, the point was that I had to find another company because they didn't have insurance, and then I found another company, they had insurance. But I started there in April, and I had to do it for 6 weeks minimum. So I didn't even do it for 6 weeks.
And you might be thinking, Alex, why did you not do it for 6 weeks? Because that's what you have to do.
Right. Incorrect. The internship was really, really bad because basically I was doing all this cut work, like all of the grunt work, and I wasn't really learning anything from that internship. It was a PR internship, so personal relations internship, and I was doing like the bare minimum work. Like I would go into work and I would have to wait like an hour before get given a task. Like it was just a shit company. And I'm not going to say what company it was directly. Like if you want to, you can find what company it is if you're smart enough, but I will not talk about the company itself because I didn't like the company. It did teach me a few things, but bottom line is that it was not a good company. I didn't really learn anything from that company. They didn't trust me enough because I was staying there. The internship was for 3 months. I from the university had to stay for 6 weeks. So if I wanted to, I could stay for the whole summer and did the internship with them for like 3 months. But it was really bad, like I said, so I did not. They also said they couldn't trust me because I was there for 3 months, so they couldn't give me like personal information from like people they had work with. So I was like, what's the point? Like basically I couldn't do my job, like I couldn't do my internship job. So I was like, okay, that's fine, that's absolutely fine, I will find another internship. So I did, I think 4 and a bit weeks, and I finished that internship. Like I gave my notice in and I was like, I'm not coming in anymore, like that's it. Anyways, the manager was nice enough to like pay me for a transport, because it was a paid transport, like it wasn't a paid internship, but like they paid for my transport. That happened, and then I was like, okay, I don't want to, because by that time it was like mid-May, like April. No, sorry, it was, yeah, mid-May around that time when I quit, and I was like, I don't really want to like not do anything, let's find another internship. So I found another internship. It was to do with social media and marketing. There was not much marketing in that company either. I was told I was going to do all of these things on like the job description, and like I did like probably just the social media part, which I had to learn pretty much everything that I did for them, like the editing part, because I never like really got into TikTok at that point. I really never got like into editing reels, stuff like that, so I never knew stuff that was important to know. Anyways, that being said, it was a better company than the last one because I was treated much better. Also, I could work from home. I think I went in every other week, I believe, or something like that. So I didn't have to go because it was very, very far away from me. Like I had to, it was on the other end of London. Actually, it was even outside of London. So I had to trek so long. So that's internship-wise. Internship-wise, it was okay. I kind of quit beginning of July, I think. So I stayed there for like a month and a half. And it wasn't a bad internship. Like I did learn stuff, but I wasn't taught, which I think that's the whole point of having an internship, at least in my mind, is to be taught things, like even the basics. But I kind of had to teach the main person. So that was for a fashion company. Then I finished, that's in beginning of July, and I think I just didn't really do anything afterwards until I went on holiday. I went to holiday to Mallorca with my family. That was amazing, 10 out of 10. If you want to go see some pictures from Mallorca, go on my Instagram. It's at AlexK10. Alex spelled with KS. But I really did enjoy Mallorca. I enjoyed that holiday. My family enjoyed that holiday. And I couldn't really fault it. I think the hotel was stunning. The pools were stunning. We were right onto the beach. Like you can get off to like the hotel was right onto the beach. So if you wanted to, you could walk out and you were onto the beach. So yeah, Mallorca was amazing. I would go back there, but it's quite expensive. It was just like, because it's an island, it will be expensive. Like the food wise, it wasn't that expensive, but for 4 people it was. Obviously for families it is expensive, so you get what you pay for. But it was a brilliant, amazing holiday. But if you want to go for partying, there's not like, there is plenty to party, but also it's chill as well. Like you can get both of best worlds. Then I came back and it was August, so it was start at beginning of August, because I went like end of July, came back beginning of August. I think we went for like 11-12 days. Stunning amount of time to go on holiday for. So good. And then, well, I think I just worked. Came back, there was quite a lot of like work at my part-time job that I've been there for like 3 years now. We're not going to talk about it. But there was quite a lot of like work because there were people quitting. Obviously, they were like going into other jobs. There were students that were starting uni in September, so they kind of wanted the rest of summer. So there was a lot happening, and there was a lot of overtime. So I picked that overtime, and I was like, okay, I kind of want an iPad. I want an iPad for my 3rd year because I'm doing a magazine. I love illustrations, so I want illustrations. I want like drawn things in the magazine. So I did that. I wanted illustrations and drawn things. So I was like, okay, let's save for an iPad. And I did that. So I worked through the whole of August. Beginning of September, I worked. But a thought came on my mind in like mid-August. My aunt was going back home, i.e. Bulgaria. So she was like, why don't you come back with me? And we can like go around for like 2 weeks. She was staying there for a whole month. I couldn't, because the date she was going to back home, I had to start uni. If I stayed there for a whole month, I would have got into uni. Like the time I started would have got into uni. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna come with you for 2 weeks. Like, that's plenty. I can see my grandparents, I can see like Sophia, I can maybe even go to the beach. So while I was working the whole of August, I booked my tickets to go. Obviously I was staying with my grandparents, so I didn't have to pay for hotels or anything like that. So I packed and I went to Sophia. Loved it. We stayed in 1 day in Sophia, and then my grandparents obviously booked for us to go next day to the beach because they have a friend there. So we stayed at my grandparents' friend's house. Went to the beach every day. Had amazing food. The weather was amazing. Got a tan. 10 out of 10. Loved it. I thought things were going to be so different. Things have not changed. Like obviously things have like evolved in terms of like obviously buildings and trains but like underground, and like places have either like closed or they like improved. So a lot of places have improved, but a lot of places closed. So what I remember from it was exactly the same in terms of people, in terms of food, but that was obviously like the construction side or like the technology wise was different. So I was not surprised at all. Well, I was kind of surprised that things weren't changed, because the last time I went back home was years ago. So for me, it was so weird to see that things were the same as I remember them. Like the beach, the same as I remember it. Sophia, the same as I remember it. Like the parks, like things were not that different. So then we went to the beach and then stayed there for like a couple of days. I would say like 5 or 6 days. Then we had to travel from the beach to the mountains. That took long. If you're traveling to the beach from Sofia, the capital, brace yourself, because it's going to take hours. It took us like 7 hours to get there because the bus stops at different locations. I don't think there's any direct buses, unfortunately, so it is what it is. There might be during summer direct buses from Sofia to the beach, but because we went in September when it's off season now, I think there were a lot more places that people wanted to stop at compared to the summer. So anyways, went to the beach and then went to the mountains. The mountains were amazing. I was kind of like, why am I going to the mountains? There's no snow. Like there's nothing to like really see. So when I say there was nothing to see, there was nothing to see. Went to Pomporvo and it was very, 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 very quiet. The place itself, there were like 2 shops. No, 1 shop open, 2 restaurants open. That was everything that was open. There was nothing else to see. But we stayed there in a lovely apartment in a hotel. We were the only people in the hotel. It was very creepy. Very creepy. But it's what it is. So I love the fresh air. I love the food. Like I love the peace and quiet. Very nice. Very relaxing. And then we went back to Sofia. Sofia was amazing. I got to explore like a couple of days in Sofia because I mainly wanted to go back and see Sofia because I miss Sofia. And that was really good. We met some friends with my aunt. We had dinners, we had lunches. I had so much food. Oh my god, the food was amazing. Came back and I had to start literally the next day I had uni. So it was very jam-packed. Like when I tell you like summer was jam-packed, like I didn't anticipate that I was going to go to Sofia, so I wasn't really like thinking, I wasn't really planning. If I knew I was going to Sofia, I would have probably planned a lot more for my magazine, a lot for my dissertation. I would have like planned a lot in advance, but unfortunately I did not do that. So I started year 3, no chill at all, and that's when I also bought my iPad, in love with it. I'll do like a whole separate video of like if I think it's worth having an iPad. I'm a fashion journalism student. I take my notes on my computer if I have to take notes, and most of the time I use my computer, but for the things that I want to use my iPad for, it's amazing, and I think that's the main reason I wanted the iPad for. So it depends what you want to use the iPad for. If you want to use the iPad for like writing notes, and you know you're going to use the iPad for writing notes, then buy an iPad. But if you know that you're going to be using it and for like a month and then not use it, there's no point buying such an expensive item. So currently I'm loving it. Like I use it for everything. It's my second computer. I haven't tried editing on it yet, but I might try and edit some videos in Rome when we go. So that's the plan. Then I started my dissertation. So dissertation was followed next. It was okay. I am not getting on very well with my dissertation just because there's a lot to do. I should have started my dissertation over summer. Obviously, they don't really tell you much about dissertation over summer, but I should have started doing some research over my dissertation over summer. That would have helped me a lot and immensely. That's one tip that I would say is just go and research what a dissertation is, how you can like maybe potentially start thinking about a topic that you want to write. With having to start our dissertation in October, we also had to start planning our magazine. So we have an FMP, Final Major Project, which is our magazines next year. We started them in January, mid-January. That's when we started doing the magazines. But all the preparation has to be done before that. So all the planning, all of the like conceptualizing that has to be done in first term. So that's what we are doing currently. I'm slightly behind on that just because I couldn't think of an idea, a solid idea of what to do for my magazine. It's very hard when they give you unlimited like thinking space. Like, what do you want to do a magazine on? Bear in mind, you also have to think how many magazines are out there, how many magazines are going to be close to your magazine, how you can differentiate. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot to think about. So I was very worried about term 1 when I started because there was so much to do. And term 2, I don't think it's going to be any easier, but I think we just need to go and smash it. I need to do my dissertation. That's due end of Jan. And I need to start writing the bulk of it because it's weighing on me. It's weighing on my heart, on my little heart. It's actually a big heart, so it's weighing on my big heart. But I need to start doing the dissertation because there's so much to do still that I want to cry. That being said, about the magazine as well, there's a lot to do with the magazine. I need to finish planning and hopefully start doing bits or pieces, like potentially finding people to interview or potentially people to write about or topics to write about before I start the magazine. That way I could have planned it out and then just started doing it. Whereas if I started doing it, planning it in Jan, when we start thinking about doing the magazine, I'll be already behind. So yeah. But last thing I want to talk about is obviously there's a lot to do now during Christmas. There's no Christmas for me, but I'm actually going to Rome for Christmas. And to be honest with you, there's so much to do between now and January that I want to cry. Rome is an amazing idea because my parents were like, let's go to Rome for like 5 days. So we're going to Rome for 5 days, but in the back of my mind I was like, okay, I have so much to do. How am I going to do this? Like, am I even going to be able to like finish everything before like Jan? Like, my dissertation is due end of Jan. Like, that is such a big priority because I want to finish uni with a first. That's everyone's dream, but whether that happens or not, I don't know. So I don't know. We'll see. I need to think about it. I need to just like map everything out. I'm currently filming on my G7X. It's my newest camera. I wanted something small for Italy because I want to vlog in Italy. You're not prepared for Italy vlogs, but I wanted to vlog on something smaller. Put it in my bag and whip it out the bag, you know? Whereas my other bulky camera, she's very hefty. I will see you in Italy. I hope you enjoyed my Mukbang catch up. Anyways, how have you been? I haven't talked to any people on YouTube for a long time. Not that many people follow me, but you know what I mean. How is everyone doing? The person watching this vlog, how are you doing? Are you okay? Are you excited about Christmas? Are you very Christmassy? I will be logging off. I hope you have a great Christmas and a happy New Year. Hopefully I'll see you in Rome. And hopefully I'll post these vlogs before the end of the year. That's my goal. That was my goal.
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.